I once heard of a saying that goes, "A rich man is nothing but a poor man with money." However, I won't be diving into the intricacies of this, for whatever that might mean is of less concern at the moment. We've all heard of people with staggering riches like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, and a few others. But do you know that there are over 2,755 billionaires on Earth? These 5 are equally billionaires, probably without a PA system loud enough. Number 1. Reinhold Wirth. Starting the list is Reinhold Wirth, a German billionaire with a net worth of $12 billion. His father owned a wholesale screw business, which he joined as the first apprentice in 1949 at the age of 14. 5 years later, he started delivering goods to buyers in their mechanical shops and building sites, earning him a lot as most cities and towns needed a rebuild after the war. This gave him a competitive advantage, which he honed after taking over the business reins at the age of 19 when his father died of a heart attack. He turned his father's business into Adolf Wirth Group and specialized in manufacturing fasteners, with his portfolio now beaming with about 340 businesses. The sales skyrocketed as they now deliver screws and fasteners for construction, automotive, and engineering trades. Last year, Wirth Group generated sales of 17.1 billion euros, which is 18.5% higher than the last. For his outstanding works in developing social markets while having the welfare of the public in mind, he was inducted into the German Industry Hall of Fame. He adopted impeccable management skills and created Spirit Decor, said to have motivated his employees, boosting their annual yield in the long run. Bettina Wirth, his daughter, became the chairwoman of the Wirth Group after his retirement in 1993. Reinhold, however, remains the chairman of the supervisory board. Reinhold Wirth spends his time outsourcing for impressive arts, of which he now has a huge collection. These pieces include art of Alfred Hardlicke, Max Beckmann, Emile Nolde, and Pablo Picasso. A few years back, he acquired Germany's most expensive art piece, Hans Holbein the Younger's Schutzmantel Madonna. This painting was one of the famous paintings at the time. Cruising on motorcycles is also one of his hobbies, which is why he frequently engages his Harley-Davidson biking gear. Number 2. Aliko Dangote. With a net worth of $20 billion, Nigeria's Aliko Dangote is one of the world's richest men you've probably never heard of, except if you're in Africa. This business tycoon has been ranked the richest man in Africa 10 times in a row, and it is no surprise that he still holds the spot. His empire, Dangote Group, has been in existence for over 30 years, and it is now one of Nigeria's largest private sector employers. At 21, Dangote graduated college and decided to venture into the importation of agricultural commodities for sale in his homeland. He borrowed $3,000 to repay from his profits just 3 months after. This local trading became a multi-billion-dollar corporation that made him the most valuable conglomerate in West Africa. His company deals with consumer goods, oil and gas, and manufacturing, among others. However, his major source of wealth is cement, which he trades in 10 African countries. According to Forbes, every year Dangote Cement produces over 45.6 million metric tons of cement with a quarterly revenue of approximately $808 million. Aliko Dangote Sugar Refinery is said to be the third largest sugar refinery on Earth. Recently, he started the construction of a $15 billion worth oil refinery in Lagos, set to start operations in the third quarter of this year. According to him, the plant will function at a processing capacity of 54,000 barrels a day, but will project to 650,000 when its full production commences in early 2023. Dangote Group partnered with the famous billionaire company Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation back in 2013 with the main aim of eradicating polio and strengthening immunizations in every part of the country. As of August 2020, every country in Africa, including Nigeria, got an official certification declaring continent-wide polio-free. Number 3. Charles Ergen. Charles Ergen is the chairman and co-founder of EchoStar and Dish Network. He was born into an Episcopalian family in 1953 with an accountant mother and a father who was a nuclear physicist. He bagged a Bachelor's of Arts from the University of Tennessee. In 1980, Jim DeFranco partnered with Ergen and his wife in starting a new business called Ecosphere Corporation. This project was directed towards rural Colorado, and they invested $60,000 in purchasing 2 C-band antennas. They had a truck from which they sold satellite dishes while driving around the near metro area. This was, however, done on a little budget. By 1990, $330 million was raised from junk bonds while elevating EchoStar's profile by purchasing orbital slots for satellites. EchoStar got its geostationary orbital slot 2 years later after managing to secure a DBS license from the Federal Communications Commission. Urchin's dish guaranteed two-way high-speed internet access, making it the first satellite TV provider to offer such luxury. More so, his digital video recorder in a set-top box was the first of its kind. He also made satellite receivers available for users at a price less than $200. In May 2011, Urchin gave up his seat as the CEO of Dish for Joseph Clayton. The position was, however, returned after Clayton's retirement in 2015. He remained CEO until 2017. As of today, Charles Urchin has a net worth of $11 billion, earning him a spot on the list of America's billionaires. Number 4. Amancio Ortega. With billions of dollars away from Bernard Arnault's wealth, Ortega and Francois tugged for the spot of the second wealthiest man in Europe. Being a Spanish businessman and the founder of Inditex fashion group, we can't be too surprised. If you've never heard of Inditex, it would be because you didn't know it is the parent company of Zara. Of course, we all know Zara clothing. At the age of 14, Ortega left school after his father moved the family to A Coruña in pursuit of better job offers. He offered to work for a local shirt maker where he learned tailoring, becoming passionate about the skill in the process. In 1972, he founded the Confecciones Goa, which specialized in the sale of quilted bathrobes. 3 years later, he opened Zara's store and co-founded it with his wife Rosalia Mera. They got divorced in 1998 and Ortega remarried in 2001. Until recently, much was unknown about Ortega's business ventures. However, Inditex now owns and oversees more than 6,000 stores. This includes Massimo Dutti, Tempeh, Berkshire, and Oysho. He retired from Inditex in 2011, but he still owns 60% of its stock as of 2016. The rich just won't cease to amaze. After his retirement, he became invested in real estate, purchasing a building set to house Amazon's headquarters in Seattle. This is in addition to various hotels he purchased in Miami and skyscrapers in Madrid. Amancio Ortega's valued wealth now sits at $47.8 billion. There is definitely no way he can lose a seat at a meeting of the rich. Number 5. Mukesh Ambani. Except for Indians, many have probably never heard of this man. I don't mean to blow your mind just yet, but Mukesh Ambani owns the world's most expensive residential house, Antilia. Born in Yemen, Mukesh was the son of Dhirubhai Ambani, a clerk in a trading company. His father started a spice business after moving back to India. In 1966, Mukesh's father founded a textile company called Reliance Industries, which gained a large number of shareholders over the years. After Mukesh's graduation as a chemical engineer from the University of Mumbai, he pursued a master's degree in business administration at Stanford, which he left unfinished to oversee his father's company. He expanded Reliance's reach by engaging in oil refining, petrochemicals, and oil and gas drilling. After his father died in 2002, Mukesh took over Reliance with his brother. This had a dead end due to their fight for control. In 2005, the company was split and Mukesh retained the textile, petrochemicals, and oil operations. With Mukesh spearheading his own share, Reliance Industry became involved in retail and telecommunications, thereby expanding his wealth. He also started a Reliance Foundation aimed at improving health, education, and development in rural areas. With a net worth of $99 billion, Mukesh Ambani lives in a house said to be worth $2.2 billion with his wife and children. A perfect definition of a billionaire living large but known only by a few. While the list is endless, we now know that billionaires are not limited to those we see on TVs or those who make headlines. These people's wealth is, however, not hidden. We just need to press the right keys and search the right menu.